That Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been shot in the leg and wounded.
4 लोगों ने बंद कमरे में फैसला किया मुझे मरवाने का। मैं टीवी पे जाके लोगों को बताया कि उन्होंने फैसला किया।
Can somebody help me?
There was an assassination attempt on former Prime Minister Imran Khan in the city of Wazirabad. An attacker took an aim at his car at close range during a busy march led by Imran Khan. The ex-Prime Minister was injured in both legs. Among his associates, there was one person killed and many wounded. The participants at the march demanded the resignation of the current regime in Pakistan and called for early elections. They expressed their readiness to reach Islamabad and spread protests across the entire country. Was this assassination attempt political? Absolutely. Imran Khan was about to revise the country's one-sided foreign policy, change Pakistan from a puppet state of America to an independent actor. But it didn't go according to plan. America doesn't want to let go of Pakistan, and they saw its uses when Saudi and America sponsored Pakistan during the Soviet era. I'll cover that a little bit later. Imran Khan is a threat to American foreign policy because he recently said that despite the continued tensions in Afghanistan, with the Taliban coming to power in the country, it has every chance of restoring peace. Maybe Imran Khan was being overly optimistic. Or maybe he said that as a faithful friend of the Pashtun Taliban. After all, Imran Khan received the honorary title Taliban Khan, the nickname, many years ago for defending the Taliban. Or maybe he said it because the Taliban can only ensure peace and stability. Or it could be because of his genetics. After all, Imran Khan is a Pashtun from Lahore, where, by the way, he was successfully operated on after the attack. He defiantly welcomed the new geopolitical trend when the Taliban in Kabul began dialogues with Russia, but he immediately received the mark of Kremlin agent, Russian agent, which played a big role in his deposition several months ago through a vote of no confidence in Pakistani parliament.
Consequently, the resolution for vote of no confidence against Mr. Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, has been passed by a majority of the total membership of the National Assembly.
I believe it's a responsibility of every responsible country around the world to voice concern, to voice objection to what Putin appears to have in mind for Ukraine. We've communicated to Pakistan our position regarding Russia's further renewed invasion of Ukraine.
I expect more problems in Pakistan. Pakistan is a country where there's a lot of foreign spy agencies, especially the United States. They're almost everywhere. It all started 40 years ago with the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Back then, the US, CIA, in alliance with the Saudis, created an extensive network of support bases for Afghan Mujahideen fighters for faith in northwestern Pakistan. Then, for the first time, an Arab volunteer recruiter, Osama bin Laden, appeared. His main goal was to recruit his own kind, the Arabs from the Middle East, and fight the Soviets. But he became a little problematic. After beating the Soviet, he started to get rid of non-Muslims too, and created the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda. And they didn't just target non-Muslims either. They went further. Even if someone prayed to Allah every day but refused to support the extremist Osama, they were also got rid of. Since then, a lot of cash flowed into Pakistan, and no doubt there's a lot of American spies operating from northwestern Pakistan in the immediate vicinity of neighbouring Afghanistan. That's why you tend to see a lot of clashes, or hear about clashes, between the Pakistani army and the Afghans.
This happened after a clash between the security forces from both the sides. The clash was reported between the Taliban forces and the Pakistan forces on the 13th of November. And in the latest, Pakistani officials have claimed that they have no plans to reopen the border crossing until the Afghan forces hand over the armed men who opened fire before fleeing back into the Afghan territory.
People thought things would improve in Pakistan, but nothing has really changed, and the American spies don't have any plans to leave Pakistan either. It was in 2011 the Americans supposedly tracked down and eliminated Osama bin Laden. Now, there's a lot of people out there who also claim that Osama had been on the list of CIA agents under operational pseudonym Tim Osman. That's how deep the deception is out there. And I'm not just telling you about these secret agents because I have a secret to tell. All this information is quite well known, even by the Pakistani Interagency Intelligence, the ISI. Imran Khan has also spoken about these agents in the past, and of course, there's hardcore evidence to back this up. It's all out in the open. Bloody conflicts between American and Pakistani operatives are multiplying. A few years ago, Raymond Davis, who worked for the CIA at the consulate in Lahore, shot and killed 2 Pakistani agents after a quarrel. The case was terminated only due to huge amount of money paid by the Americans to the Pakistani government, and everybody, the entire media, even in Pakistan, dropped the case. But the biggest scandal erupted after the liquidation of Osama bin Laden. After all, Osama was a long-term operational project for the American intelligence services in Pakistan. A lot of people say they wanted to use him against China. Could be, but I'm not going to speculate. And the liquidation of Osama led to massive distrust between the Americans and the Pakistanis. As with the assassination attempt on Imran Khan, it clearly tells us that the entire US spy infrastructure in Pakistan continues to focus not only on the political adjustment of Islamabad, but also on the neighboring Afghanistan controlled by the Pashtun Taliban.
This historic moment, the last U.S. troops have withdrawn from Afghanistan, ending America's longest war, with the Taliban we pushed out in 2001 back in control of that country again.
We can say a lot about the pullout of Americans from Afghanistan, but the fact remains, the Taliban's coming to power a year ago was hardly without American assistance. Otherwise, how can you explain the fact that after the evacuation of the remnants of the American military contingent, the Taliban gained access to abandoned American weapons, something in the region of $7 billion? Whatever the plan was, everything has now changed. Americans are seriously concerned about the situation in Kabul. They are worried about the growing relationship between the Taliban and Russia, both politically and economically. And the Americans are still in a position of power. You see, there's another headache for Pakistan, and the Americans will use the Taliban along with other groups to keep Pakistan in check and ensure that the Pakistani foreign policy aligns with the American one. Because there's plenty of headaches for Pakistan, not just the CIA agents operating in its country, but also a group called Pakistani Tehreek-Taliban, another friend of the Pashtun Taliban. They're strong. There's about 100,000 militants, and the Pakistani army has had armed clashes with them and continue to do so. They are increasingly using Afghan territory as a fraternal bridgehead when it's necessary to retreat and maintain strength. It's also possible that following the assassination attempt on Imran Khan, the United States will increase pressure on Pashtun leaders both in Afghanistan and in Pakistan. And if Pakistanis bring Imran Khan to power, the Americans will of course pull strings. The Americans have a desire to show who is boss in the house, and that's not going to go away anytime soon. Thank you for listening to the Independent Islamic Republic of Foreign Policy Hawk. Assalamu alaikum, sayonara, shalom aleichem, adios, have a fantastic night.